And we should be live. Should be. We'll see. I'll just lurk around for a bit, see if anybody joins us. Oh, actually, I'll get the chat out. Pop out chat. There you go. Oops. There's the usual bit of faff at the beginning. I apologise for that. I don't have to see myself, do I? Right, so welcome to Real Magic Review. It's 4 o'clock. It's Monday. It's really good to do this with all my setup and hopefully it go well. Thanks for your patience last time. Some of you, of course, will be watching this not right now. I'm just going to wait and hang out a bit to see if anybody joins us. There you go. How you doing, Professor Dan? Nice to see you, mate. And we'll just wait, see if anybody else pops in. I'm gonna do a kind of a sort of live review. So I'm not gonna do many live reviews, but I thought I've got quite a lot to get through, and I've been taking some stuff out, so I'll get some live reviews done. It's really hard not to look down at my screen. I've now got my screens for comments down there, but if I spend, I'm gonna look. You know that really unprofessional look people have when they do webcams and they're always already down here. So I'm going to look down there every now and then. So if you comment and I don't answer it straight away, I will get there in a minute. But I have to look and see who's joined us. Yeah, here we go. Colin, morning. Colin in Canada. And Paul Bond, hiya. How you doing? That'll do. There's 3 of us, right? Well, probably more than that, but 3 people commenting. There you go. Ezekiel. That's how you say that, isn't it? So, so first of all, if you've got any questions, saw you playing with your hole earlier. Yeah, God, I wonder what you were going to say then. I thought I'd put something because I was testing everything earlier. Hello from LA. How you doing, Adrian? I was testing everything earlier, and I was so worried. I was testing YouTube Live like 100 times. I've been doing this for a week now, like a whole week of testing, getting it all sorted. And I was worried I kept leaving it on public. I was doing lives hidden, obviously, from the public. But when you said that, I thought, oh, God, did I say something embarrassing? How many lovely shows could you shout out to my girlfriend, Louise? How you doing, Louise? How are you? Oh, God, people asking me to shout out. That looks being famous, isn't it? That's never going to happen, but there you go. So, I'm going to look down at there in a minute. I'm going to do a quick review of something I've been playing with. I did put the thing of Stargate on, and I'll answer any questions about Stargate. I put the performance on. I hope you don't mind that thing of putting performances on separately. I thought it might be quite an idea because it would shorten the reviews, because I think some of them are playing a bit long if you look at the average view rates and stuff, and also give people the choice to watch the performances as well. So I'm going to talk about Bear Mini. This has been, obviously, Bear, the original Bear came out, the other brothers in 2013, based on an idea by Lockeye Cross. He found the stuff that you use, apparently. Got to be careful not to give anything away. I'm not usually edit that stuff out, but I can't do that now. So the idea of this, if you don't know, if you've looked at Double Cross, if you've seen Double Cross, and Double Cross is something that I use all the time in close-up, it's almost become the Omni deck of close-up magic, meaning everybody does it. To the point where a few times, actually, even up in Sheffield, this happens all the time in London, but in Sheffield people have said, oh, someone did that the other day. So it's so used. So this is kind of like Double Cross, and if you don't know that, it's just putting a cross on someone's hand that you don't know, and then you make it go from your hand to their hand. The other brothers kind of makes that more versatile. Sorry, the other brothers have made that more versatile with Bear, where you can basically put anything on someone, and you pour some, what they recommend, pepper onto the hand, and blow it, and the impression of whatever you've written comes on, ends up on the hand, which is really, really strong. Okay, so very quickly, I've been playing with this a long time. I've been playing with it a lot in the last week. The Mini, by the way, the only difference is it's a mini Sharpie, so it's a little bit easier to carry around. There is a bit of prep when you do the trick, so it kind of makes that bit easier, I suppose, but if you use a Sharpie anyway, and you get this thing to put whatever it is you want to pour on the hand on. And like I said, they recommend pepper, but when I tried pepper, I had problems with this. It wouldn't stick, and then I tried different sorts of pepper. I finally found a pepper, which is kind of fine, the one from the supermarket, which is a ground pepper. But I'll just give you the pros and cons on this, and you can ask any questions. Yeah, like and subscribe, by the way. Check out Card Magic Course, etc., etc., etc. Good things about this are it's easy. It is really, really strong. When I've done this successfully, and we'll talk about that in a minute, it really is. That it's on somebody's hand just really freaks them out, and I kind of forgot that when I got used to the idea of this. I was like, yeah, they're going to go, and it's so strong. If it's a name of a playing card, like a two and a diamond, which is what I was using, or seven of diamonds, very, very strong routine. There's obviously no angles involved, and it's incredibly versatile. You can do this with cards. I mean, I tried it the basic way because I didn't have that long to play with it, so I kind of put a seven of diamonds, force seven of diamonds, put it in their hand, and put the pepper on their hand, and it ends up saying the seven of diamonds. It's great with the top change and things like that. When I got the card wrong, a classic four stick, got it wrong, top changed it, put it in their hand, and it changed into seven of diamonds. They said it's not, and turned it over, and it was. That makes no sense, but there you go. You get what I mean. So very good in all respects. The only bad things about this trick are, when I say bad, I mean challenges. They're not bad things necessarily. There's a tiny bit of prep, so you don't have to do as much prep as the old sort of ash on the arm thing where you have to go and put soap all over it and all that. It's very, very quick. But you've got to play with it for a bit before you find out what works, because depending on where you are, different things tend to work. So in Vegas, they were saying, well, the pepper from McDonald's works really well. That didn't work very well for me. I ground up my own pepper. That didn't work very well for me. Salt worked really well, weirdly enough, and they say it's not quite as good, but salt was good. Coffee was great. And certain pepper from Co-op actually just out there worked. But so I had to play around with that as well. They do also say that you can do the prep way before doing the performance of this. I have found that a little bit iffy. Okay, I left it there for a while and then did it, and it wasn't quite there, and the finale was a little bit disappointing. And there was a few times when it didn't work at all. Now I am pretty sure, because the last few it has, that it's because of where I'm prepping it, and that won't make much sense, but just I can't give away too much. Where I'm prepping it was slightly the wrong place. I thought it was the right place and it was slightly wrong. So it's all about experimentation. My son Woody has been helping me. I've been doing it again and again and again, and he's been helping me with that. So my feeling is that it's brilliant. It's very strong. It's going to get even when it's been quite faint, they've really lost it. It almost adds to it, the faintness, as long as they can read it. I found coffee's the best, but the main downer is, I think, on it is it's quite messy. So there are certain places you're just not going to be able to do it. If you're somewhere with a VIP with a really nice carpet, you're not going to be wanting to pour coffee all over it. You might be with pepper, but I found it a little, even though it's versatile in many ways, it's not quite as versatile in that way. There's places where I don't want to do this. I don't want to be pouring things over people's hands. And I suppose the other thing is that to find the link between what you're doing and pouring pepper on someone's hand is quite good. I tried using the story of having someone's ashes when I was doing it with my daughter's friend. I said, I've been down this place and this guy died and he was a magician, and I poured it on her hand, but I tried that with pepper, and as soon as I opened it, she went, that's pepper, it stinks. So it didn't really work at all. But she still lost it when the thing, because I found the right pepper then, the thing worked. So just play with it. Don't expect to get it and do it straight away. You're going to get frustrated, but I think you'll get it in the end. But not quite as hardy as they say. I'd be very, 2 hours before performance, not going to happen with me. I don't really trust that. But is there any questions on there? How about fine glitter? Let's have a look. Best using ash. Yeah. Look at that, only coffee shop. Do you? That's good, isn't it? Just go. I know this is deep. Going to lose you for a second. This and double cross preference. That's from Colin. Another Colin. It's dependent. Double cross is just a cross in it, but it's strong and it's a sharpie and it's permanent, and it just, if they haven't seen it before, and like I said, a lot of people have, I just feel better with that because I just know it's going to be there, except for the time it wasn't because the thing's broken. But it just, this one for me, is probably better because you can do more with it. Like I came up with an idea of putting an initial on it and putting it on flash paper. Flash paper disappears and it ends up on someone's hand. See, stuff like that you can. When you start thinking about this, there's a lot you can do with it. There's also a routine where they, with a business card, which is great, which I think there is a link, if you Google it, to someone doing it on a American talk show with sugar, and that's where they pretend to write something on a card, and they're actually doing the prep in real time, and then it ends up on the person's hand, the initials of the person that they've said. So there's a lot of mentalism. Salt has been used in the occult when you make circles of salt. So I think there's more you can do with it if you can control the environment a bit. Double cross is a little bit wham bam. You can do it there, and it's going to be super strong. Okay. Cinnamon is great. Absolutely, that's a good one. I love the smell of a good coffee shop when you're working on it. Fantastic aroma. Yeah, the problem with the pepper it isn't a fantastic aroma. You sort of get it out and people kind of go, ooh, like that. So you can make a thing of that as well, of course. Right. Any more questions on anything? I think that's about it on that and on Bear, but there's loads of stuff on the cafe about it. There is a new market coming out of a bigger cross. Yeah, I read something like that. That's good, isn't it? I mean, yeah. I mean, I'll try and work out how that's going to work. And do you need it? I suppose for stage, that's really good, isn't it? Bigger cross. But I'm trying to is it as easy to find? I don't know. And the thing about double cross is that you have to buy the refills if you lose one, and you are going to lose it. I lost my double cross in the first one, and I went to buy a refill, and it was like, I don't know, 25 quid or whatever it is. And then I broke that one the day after. So by the time I used it properly, I'd spent about 100 quid on the thing. Which again is fine if you're going to use it again and again, but you got to be super careful with that. Right. So if that's it, how long have we done? Let's have a look. Oh, I don't know. But if you've got no other questions, I shall do one, I reckon, because I think that's about enough of me banging on. If you do have any questions on the next live, and I am happy to do lives in between as well. This is the kind of every Monday thing, but I'm going to try experimenting in the week. If you like the live format, it isn't going to be as good quality as the reviews, but I think I've got so much to review them to do it some live and to do some sort of recorded would be great. Oh, someone asked about the camera, by the way. The camera is a Sony A7R3 that I'm using. So someone had a question about that. Not long enough. What isn't long enough? This live, or the... Yeah, but I've got enough. Yeah, but I don't want to outstay my welcome, do I? I've got a terribly bad back. I fell over. If you don't know, I've mentioned it before. I did. What should you know? But I have mentioned it. I broke 5 ribs in my shoulder last couple of years ago. And when I was in Norway the other day, I fell over on my back and it felt okay, but I had to get an X-ray this morning and it's not great. So something's occurred. And they did that hideous thing of they. I get really nervous now, but I'm convinced they're going to tell me I'm dying. So I left and they said, I can go, yeah, there's no problems. Then they went, oh, hang on a minute. And they pulled me back and said, we need to get a second opinion. And I was like, what's going on? And it's because it's my spine. And then they said, right, you can go. And then they said, no, hang on, we need to get another opinion. And then they said, you can go, but you have to go and see your GP. So now I'm absolutely terrified that my GP is going to tell me something tomorrow. I don't know, but there you go. Steve, I'll ask a question. Joseph Walker, hit me with it. Do it quick so there's not dead time. We're in the dead time. In the rest up, fella, yeah, I will do, but I'm not very good at resting up. I get bored. In the dead time, I'll show you Rolly thing. This is great. This is really it's great, isn't it? This is moving the whole stuff. This isn't a performance, by the way, but have a look at this. I'll do a full review of this, and then you sort of show it like this. And then you can show it empty, and there's a bit of a thing you have to do there, but hopefully that was hidden. I don't think it was. There you go. Right. Which is your favourite card to box? I have a Paradigm, and I've just ordered Mint Box. Which have you found to be the most... good question. Right. Paradigm is brilliant. I love Paradigm, but I'm finding it really knackered. Paradigm or Paragon. If it's Paragon you're talking about, I love it. It's knacky, and I prefer Paragon than Paragon 3D. I find for me the 3D, well, when I made it, sort of hung up a little bit, and I didn't find it. Paragon, I thought looks just as good, just as convincing, and really, really good. There's always a bit of a weird thing when I perform those clear boxes when you kind of get it out and you know what's coming. So you've got to misdirect them away from that and get them to forget about the box and then come back to it. Then you've got this beautiful callback. I really like David Regal's actually, the the Clarity box. He performed that at the session, and I forgot how good that was. Mint box is, I think, brilliant, but be super, super careful with it if you're going to be using it a hell of a lot. I think you've just got to be careful. I could see it wearing out. It's so delicate. But I think they've all got different things. I think the original Destination box is brilliant. I love the prop dog thing. The Lego one I've used when there's kids around and when it's that sort of event. I think that's incredible. So they're all brilliant. They're the same trick, kind of, I suppose, aren't they? Well, if you could argue they're slightly different because one of them is the card arriving there, one of them is the card being there all the time. But I think for that moment, Mint box is probably one that just looks so good. And for ease as well. Paragon's going to take you a bit of time, but uses an incredible concept, which I just think is just amazing. So I hope that's answered your question. For me, out of all of them, the one probably Paragon. I don't know. I think they're all equal. I genuinely do. I think that Mint box, man. When you do that and it just goes, it just looks so incredible. So let me know how you get on with it. Just got optics, a lot of practice, but worth it. Oh, we're doing this at Blackpool. Oh, good. Yeah, I haven't seen that, and I wanted to get one. Paragon, John Allen. Yeah. Right. Any advice on doing Mercury card fold without it being loud enough to be heard in the next time zone? Right. Okay. Mercury card fold. Loud. Loud. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to knacker these cards because everyone's got in the office and I want to have a play later. So, okay, Mercury card fold. Now remember, depending on where you do it, it doesn't have to be that quick. I used to kind of be like, got it quick. I now do it when I need to get a really solid fold. I want to get it under someone's watch or something. I do it quite slow because I make sure it's really. So I do it and I'll talk. If you've just done a trick, and I know it's a cheap way of doing it, but I always do this. I do an ambitious card. I do a really nice finish. Get the card to the bottom of the deck or top of the deck. Turn it around. They think the trick's over. So I just do it then, and I do it quite close, and I really push it against the deck, so I know that it's a solid fold, and then get it under there. The quicker you do it, the louder it tends to be. But in most situations, I found that the noise isn't really a problem because there tends to be some ambient noise there. So if you're worried about it, Jay Sankey used to do a thing where he used to do that a couple of times first. So it used to be part of the playing with the deck. You don't want to go over the top with it. But just as, because you would sort of play with the deck. But John Allen's, what's it called? Perfect Score. And I'm not, it sounds like I'm sponsored by John Allen. I'm not, generally. But a Perfect Score, don't be too proud to use that, all right? Some people, I don't need that. I do a Mercury card fold perfectly. If you really need a solid Mercury card fold, score a load of cards and it's like butter. It's so easy and it just goes into a perfect fold. And I think it's a really simple, inexpensive thing that you'll use again and again and again. You can also score it for the fold that's in the Tommy Wonder book with the six fold. And talking about that, if you're talking about doing it quickly, when I do a Mercury card fold to wallet or pocket, again, when the trick's finished, I'll do it, and I will literally be talking to them, doing it in one hand, and folding it again and again against my leg or something like that, and they're just not looking. And I'm not saying that to show off. I'm not doing it really well. I'm doing it just because they're not looking at it, because they think the trick's over. So you can get away with so much. Obviously, do it in a bit of shade. Do it when they're not getting eye contact and all that kind of stuff, and don't kind of, make sure your body language is nice and relaxed. But, you can do, think of where you put that fold if you want to make it super quiet and super slow. Okay, just got optics. Okay, I hope that's, cough loudly while you're doing it. yeah. To be honest, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not for that move, but I have used audible misdirection before in such a way. Right. 20 minutes. That's a long one, isn't it? That's all right. So, listen, guys, thank you very much indeed. Thanks very much. This has literally been like, when I used to do a bit of plumbing, not as a job, but when I did some house renovation of my house, I remember putting the plumbing together, turning the water on and seeing if it would. Today was a bit like that. I've had a week of trying to change the settings and make this kind of look okay. So I hope it looks okay. Let me know if it doesn't. The audio was terrible last week. That was basically because I had the volume of the audio set on about 1. So that wasn't going to work. So hopefully that's a bit louder. And thanks very much. Thank you. Please like, please subscribe. And I really mean it. It's not just something I say. My God, it makes a difference. It's all about the likes and the subscribes. And if you know people that you think might benefit from this, do let me know. And on Card Magic course, I now have the ability to do conference calling and Zooms with this camera, and with camera on the hands and stuff like that. We had a test the other day with lovely Alec, my friend, who helps me out so much with these things, who I'm eternally grateful for in Chicago, I think. Yeah. And we're going to have conference stuff on there as well weekly. So lots going on. Thanks very much. Cheers, Steve. So, thank you very much. Now you'll see me faff around for ages while I forget actually how to do this. Take care, everybody. Stop streaming. There you go. See you later. Bye. Thank you so much.